Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to episode 107 of Cross Button VR, our journey into the world of VR. Now, I'm your host, Laurie, and it is an honor to be joined by one of the most badass influencers in the metaverse. It's Reece. Hello.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Especially
with Doom coming out this year. Ooh.
Yeah. I feel like when you're in your flow, when you get in that flow state, it's like in VR, especially Doom games, it's like, I'm fucking cool.
Games where you feel 100% in there. Batman, that made me feel like a badass. It also made me feel like Batman. But
is it a bad ass or is it a badass? You just said badass.
It's my accent. It's arse, badass.
I'm such a badass.
Badass.
Right, smart. The game we're going to be talking about this week is an absolute badass game. You feel the whole way, every minute you're playing it.
100%.
Yeah, but before we get onto that, are you well though? Are you well?
I'm doing good. I'm living life, as they say.
Living the dream? Not sure whose dream, but someone's dream.
Yeah, someone's dream somewhere. And if it is their dream, then you need to dream bigger.
Oh, don't say that. We got big things. We got greatness is planned for you, Reece. I can feel it.
Is that what you can feel? Brilliant.
On the horizon.
Where can you feel it though?
Something's brewing. I'm sorry.
Where can you feel it?
You'll be pleased to know I have a glass of my finest homebrewed pint of ale here. This one's for you, hippie. So fresh.
I swear. I swear.
Reece,
when he comes on, if you two end up talking about, I will give you literally 2 minutes to talk about pinters. Okay. If you go over the 2 minute of pinter talk, I will get up and walk off.
This is going to be revenge for all those times you and Alex used to talk about quests, and I used to just sort of stare off into space thinking, when are they going to shut the fuck up?
I'll have to come round and try a pinter. There you go. That's what I'll have to do. I'll have to come try it. It's one of them. It's like VR, isn't it? It's like the VR of alcohol. You have to come try it.
Yeah, try it for yourself. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Tasting is believing, as they say. I don't know if they say that, but I just made up a good.
Although Pickle is gonna absolutely love this. He'll be like, "Yeah, you spoke about the pointer." That's not his accent. It doesn't sound anything like that.
Well, if you'd like to support us in the way that I am supporting Pinter, please give us a sub, whatever subs they're using. YouTube, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We get lots of people that watch us, and that's amazing. But I don't think everyone subscribes yet, so please do subscribe if you're not subsubscribing, because it's great if you do.
Don't make me check. Don't make me check the percentage.
Check
the percentage. Don't make me do it.
Yeah. Cool. And you can find us on Twitter, Blue Sky, everything. Cross Button VR. And also Ko-fi, you can find us as well. Cross Button VR on Ko-fi. And you can just throw us some money, help us keep the lights on. So that'd be good. Cool. Well, we've got a few things to talk about this week, Reece. I have been playing Assassin's Creed VR and non-VR, so I want to talk about. There's a few bits of news that we're going to cover off. Hitman previews. Let's have a chat about those. But let's start off. Let's jump into the main topic of the show, and that is going to be our review discussion of the Sensational Underdogs.
Go on. You go first. I want to hear what you got to say.
Oh, God. This is such a cool game. It's so fucking... I've never... Of all the games that I've played that have kind of really just dialed it up when it comes to like taking a risk on the music and the style and the...
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff you would try to do this and it just comes off as being shit. Like you try and be
I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was like, are they going for roadman talk or whatever it's called? I don't know if that's the correct terminology for it, but
like a really kind of gritty urban. I don't know how you'd like if it's got like a proper sort of name that you describe. Ben would know. Ben's from the streets.
Ben, please comment and let us know the actual terminology.
Ben lives in London. He'd know, and this is a version of London in the future. But it's so like grimy and the music and the way that all the people talk and the characters in it. It's so cool. This is the only way I can describe it. Really, it just feels so. It's like you remember watching Attack the Block. Have you seen that film?
Great film.
Yeah, and you it's like an alien movie, but it's just like young people, but it feels really authentic, like the way that they've got all the characters in it and stuff. And
yeah, it doesn't feel forced at all, does it? Like even like the voice acting does not feel forced. It just feels like
come on,
so
bruv.
authentic. Yeah,
yeah, and like anyone that's saying "bruv," it just sounds like really just crap. But in this game, they pull it, and that's why I'm so impressed by it, because they really lean into it and they really go for it. And it could have completely not worked, but it just works so well. So that's what I love about it, I think, most of all. But just for those who don't know,
it is a bit of a risk taker.
Underdogs is a mech arena brawler type thing where
roguelike.
Yeah, it's also roguelike as well. It passed the roguelike test, which is the Laurie roguelike test, is when you finish a run. If I instantly start another one, that's when I know it's a good roguelike. Some roguelikes, I'm like, oh, thank God that's finished. Now I can play something else and I'll come back. So another run, another day. But this is one that's just like, oh, I want to go straight in. Because when you finish the first run, it says, okay, you've unlocked these things now. So on your next run, you're going to get these new things. And you think, oh, I want to see that. And the first run you start off is quite a vanilla build you get just whilst you're learning everything. And then as soon as in the second one, you instantly get mixed up with some more parts for you. So mech. So I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this. So the game is you go in these mech battles, and in between the battles you can customize your mech, your gorilla, they call it, the gorilla.
Gorilla.
Yeah. And you can change the cockpit, and you can upgrade the cockpit, and you can change the left and the right arm independently. It's a bit like that arms game on the Switch. Great game.
Oh, I remember seeing that. Never played it.
Bizarre, it never got.
Always looked cool.
This is quite similar, actually. It's quite similar. It's like a VR version of Arms, but completely different art style, let's say.
With London.
So you can, you can swap out the arms completely. The arms of the gorilla completely, or you can just do upgrades on them and mods and things, so modifiers that you get. So you can really sort of customize your build, and you can get really sort of crazy things. And like the game encourages you to get a build that through kind of luck and judgment that like breaks the game. They just got in the listing for it. They're like, build the ultimate mech and break the game, and just build the most OP imbalanced killing machine and break the game. Which is, I love that. It's just like, just fuck it, just like see what you can come up with, and they just trust you to just trust the game to whatever it's going to throw at you. And it might be. I mean, that is also a good way of a roguelike. It's like I remember games like Rogue Legacy, which is a roguelike game, and the only way you can. Well, I was able to beat that. It's just getting really lucky with a really good build that just makes you so OP. And then you kind of...
I feel like that's just roguelikes in general, though, isn't it? Like, you just end up finding something that's the absolute meta. I was playing one the other night, actually, which is a non-VR one, and I ended up finding, I was like, okay, this thing works perfectly, and I was like, I do not want to die. And then I died, and it just became incredibly difficult afterwards because I didn't have that same kind of combo that was working.
There'll just be a run, won't there, where like all the stars will align, and you'll get like a few extra health upgrades. You'll get like a really powerful weapon that suits your play style, and you'll just be like, I'm unbeatable now. This is it. I'm gonna just go.
I am God.
You just literally just go to the end of the game like that. Once it all clicks, and like biomes that you find really hard or levels you find really hard, you can just like smash through really quickly. And that's kind of what this game would be like. It's quite challenging. So each it's like waves of enemies that come at you. Each round only takes, I don't know, like 4 or 5 minutes. They're pretty quick battles, and they start off with sort of small, scrappy robot things that you're battling, and then they get stronger and bigger. And then once you finish, you're in the arena, you win the round, and you get some prize money. And then you go back, and then you go back to your kind of, I don't know, it's like a sort of slum undercity of futuristic London. And you then have some sort of, you get 3 moves basically. You can do 3 things, 3 actions you get, and you can choose what they are. So it could be you just kind of explore and just a scenario will play out, or you can go and get upgrades, or you can go and repair your gorilla. And there's a kind of luck element to it as well. So when you're in these,
and you search for trouble, isn't it?
But it's really smartly done. So like you think, I'm going to go repair my gorilla, and it tells you there is a kind of a luck mechanism to it as well. So you think, I'll do an upgrade, I'll do a repair, and you have to do it a few times to repair it. It only repairs a bit at a time, and each time you do it, it could go wrong. And I did one where it went wrong, and the guy who was doing the repair basically fucked up the repair, and then he legged it, and it's like, right,
that happened to me as well.
You're not seeing that character again. He's gone from the game. You're like, what the fuck? He's taking your money. He's done a runner because he's fucked up your thing. So it does feel like you're in some sort of like gangster movie where people just can screw you over, and it just really, like, you're just not expecting it in a game like this. You kind of think, right, I'm going to hit the repair button, it's going to repair it, and it's like, whoa, like wild card thrown at you here.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, it's not repaired. He's actually fucked it up and he's damaged your machine, and now he's done a runner with your money. And you think, fuck.
I think mine. I repaired it, and he damaged it by 40%. So even though I paid for them the 2 times for that 40% to be repaired, he damaged it, fucked off. I was like, oh, great. And now I've got to go into a boss battle.
And there must be there's 40 different NPCs that you can meet with. So I've only done a few runs, so I've only met a few of them. And it might be like you meet these twins that can hack the robots that you fight against so that they fight for you. And so there's just all these different things that the game will throw at you that will just mix up. And because you get 3 turns between each arena, you don't know what 3 things are going to happen. You'll need to do some repairs, and you might want to go to the shop. So then you've got usually like 1 or 2 space turns for something. Like you could just go, they do like skip diving, where you just go through like a trash can looking for upgrades, and you might get lucky, you might find something, or you might just get jumped by some like gang of like hoodlums.
It's usually you can
either fight them off.
You
can fight them off, or if it fails, because you can roll the dice. If that action fails, then they steal more money than they were asking for in the first place to leave you alone. So it's like, everything it's got this kind of risk reward to it, and it's weird because I've just played Citizen Sleeper, the first one. Absolutely loved it, and this game really reminds me of Citizen Sleeper in between, because the story plays out in these kind of text, mostly text with these really good illustrations, like illustrating what's happening. The characters look fantastic, but it's just like text that pops up, explains to you what's happening and stuff. But yeah, it's just, so anyone that loves Citizen Sleeper, and I think everyone who's played that game loves it because it's fucking amazing. I quite enjoyed it. I would just play a game that's just this, like without the mech battling.
What, in VR?
Maybe not VR, but
yeah.
But I just think the world and the atmosphere and everything, it's so well done that you're playing as this. There's a pair of brothers, and you're one of the brothers. I think
you play as a Rig.
You're the older brother.
It's you've got Rig and King are the 2 brothers,
and it's the little brother who's like he's the more the kind of the mechanic, and he builds the rigs, and you fight in them and stuff. And when you're fighting in it, you can hear his voice over the radio and stuff. And again, I
love it. I absolutely love it.
Usually the sort of companion AI stuff's really annoying, like those kind of voice acting stuff is really annoying. But on this, it's like, fucking hell, bruv, that was amazing. When you do
to the left, man, to the left, and I'm like, okay, and then oh shit, he's right. There isn't, fucking quickly dodge that one out of the way. Every time he talks, it just gets me hyped up. I don't know why. It's just something magical about it. It's like,
go on.
It's like you have genuinely got a companion there watching over you. In other games that they usually, like you said, they do usually annoy you. And I always think back to like BioShock Infinite with the AI in that, where she'll be like, Booker, take this constantly, and so much so people made jokes of it. But like with this, he just talks to you, and then you're like, because otherwise you'd feel quite alone in the type of world that is, because the menu screens when you're reading the stuff that has no dialogue, there's no voice acting, it's all text to read. So otherwise you'd probably feel quite alone in this world. So having him like King speak to you at all times while you're in the actual arena, I think is really well done. And it does. It hyped me up every time, and I think that's quite a sentiment of how well they've crafted that character. Because you feel that bond, even though you're just reading the story, you feel that bond with how he actually talks to you in it, and I think that's really well done.
I think because the voice actor that's doing it is really good at conveying that. He gets really excited, and when you do something, you feel really cool, because you can't not feel cool when you're fighting in a mech,
mate.
And when he's like, the voice actor really captures that, and he's like, fucking sick, bruv, that's amazing. You're like, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks, man.
It's just like, I'm just like giddy in it with this headset on in my room. It's
it's like when you play a fitness game, isn't it? When they're like, oh, you're doing a great job. You're like, yeah, I am. I'm doing a great job. Thanks.
It's like that. Yeah, you're right.
Thanks, Les Mills.
It's like Les Mills when he's like, come on, bruv, you can do this, you can do it.
Although, could you imagine the voice actor of King in Les Mills?
That would be good. That would be awesome. That's a mashup we need. We need some DLC
right there.
But yeah, so and the action. So let's talk about the actual fights then. So when you're in the mech, it's really cool. It's a kind of gorilla tag style stilt, if you like, or No More Rainbow style movement where you kind of put your arms on the floor and you can pull yourself forward, and that's how you maneuver. You kind of walk like a big gorilla. Kind of your fists are like you can, also your legs that you can pull yourself forwards on.
But instead of bouncing up and jumping around, you're more sliding. I think that's the best way of kind of wording it. Yeah. So if anyone hears gorilla tag, do not think you're no gorilla tag. It's not. You grip the floor to slide and move, which works fantastically because it works as not just your movement, the way you dodge, some ways you attack. It's done flawlessly. So when you hear some people comparing the movement as gorilla tag, do not let that put you off.
It's really weighty, the movement as well, isn't it? It's not like great. You're not jumping and zipping and floating around. You are rooted to the floor because you're in a really big, heavy mech. And the tutorial, it sort of teaches you to throw a punch, and you really have to swing hard. It captures the movement. You can't just phone it in. You've got to properly swing your arm and punch your arm to deliver the punches with the mech's arms to smash the things. And you have these little, they're like little, what would you call them, little hyena things that you're battling against in the arena. You start
what do they call them?
You have to properly like hit down hard to smash them.
There's a proper name for them. Each enemy has got you got bomb bots and all that kind of stuff. Each enemy does have their own set name, but off the top of my head I can't remember them. But you got this one that has like saws inside of its mouth, and it actually grips onto your arm. So when it grips onto your arm, you've got to kind of either shake it off or punch it off with your other arm. But the problem is there, obviously, which you can lose one of your arms as well, and that's one of the craziest things in this game. Is you can actually lose an arm. So like when one of them grips on your arm, it takes the health quite fast. So I was finding at one point when I lost one of my arms, I was literally having to proper shake my arm and throw them off like that, to the point where my right arm is hurting because I'm right arm dominant. Yeah, so like literally in this whole game, I'm like proper swinging my arm to get the physics-based combat working, so you're getting the most damage. I'll tell you what, my arm has been hurting all week. Like,
I swear the enemy learns which one you're punching with most, and it goes for that arm.
They dodge as well, like they dodge around it, don't they?
Yeah, and so you have each arm has its own independent health bar, and then your cockpit has a health bar as well. And I think when your cockpit health bar gets down to 0, you're dead, and that's the end of the run.
Yeah, you can lose your arms,
but you can lose the arms. Yeah, and if you lose,
you're pretty much fucked if you lose two arms.
If you lose both arms, I think you're dead. But if you lose one arm, you could just still fight with the one arm that's left, and then if you can make it to the end of the battle, you can repair yourself and get the other arm back. But yeah, you can't, and you can repair yourself back up to full health. As long as it doesn't,
you have the funds and not got some sort of dodgy repair man.
Yeah, in theory, you can repair yourself back up to a full strength again for the next battle. But even if you don't, if you do die, you get some good unlocks. So the next build, the next run you do, you'll get different customized options. So the first one I did, I just had these two kind of weighted balls that were just like used for
the wrecking ball type of things. I think I've been calling them. Yeah. But
the second time, it gave me a kind of grabby hand thing, which was like so much more fun, that you could just reach out and grab the enemies and then like you launch them into each other, or just smash them into the floor whilst holding them. And then I think after a few battles, I then unlocked this like buzzsaw arm attachment. So I swapped out my arm for, instead of being the wrecking ball, it was a buzzsaw. So I had this like grabby hand and a buzzsaw, and it's like, this is so cool now. It's just attacking. I don't think there was an effective in battle, to be honest, because like I think that only lasted.
Yeah, I don't think like in terms of punching they're that strong, are they? I think it's with the gripper. I was actually, because I unlocked the gripper on my first run, and I unlocked 2 of them, and I was contemplating changing them out for the wrecking balls, but because I'm going to swing my arms as opposed to I'm going to try and think this through. I noticed the damage dropped to about 12 on the arm, and I was like, okay, right, I'm not risking that loss of damage to use these, so I just kind of didn't try them out.
I always think you've got to try these things, haven't you, for the first time? Yeah.
Oh, I've tried them on Quest. When I played it on Quest, I tried them on Quest. But like on the places, like I don't want to try them out, even though like I've tried it before. I don't want to try them out here. I just want to kind of go with what I know I'm good at. And it worked quite well. I got past the first area and into the second, and then lost my arms and died.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like, this is my thing with roguelikes. You've got to feel that threat. You've got to feel that risk when you're playing it. You've got to have a bit of panic and worry. If it's too easy, you're instantly just running for it and then you're done. The reason for roguelikes is to keep returning.
Mm-hmm.
And first level, I think there was a couple of times I was like, oh, that was a close call. The second level, I was like, oh my God, I am sweating. This is keeping me on my toes, like constantly having to dodge, listen to King's call-outs, and that's when the game really just kind of makes you go, oh, you think you're good? Get fucking ready.
Yeah, well,
it slapped me on my ass.
Yeah, I'd love to see like how hard it can get and how crazy it must get as it keeps ramping up the difficulty. Yeah, I'm looking forward to keep playing it. But I liked how, well, in the first one you did it, you're still learning it. Obviously, it's all still quite new and no one knows who you are. On the second run, even though in theory you've started the game again, it knows it's like not your first run, and in between battles there was like a cutscene that played out of like you could see these like street leaders that have started to hear about you and stuff, and they're inviting you to come and fight in their matches and stuff, and it's like you start to get a bit of notoriety. So I thought that was really clever, despite in theory I've restarted it, so like it's in a roguelike, so I'm back to square one, but it's not because your reputation seems to still
you're still
forward.
known.
Yeah,
that's something I really liked about the Foglands. When you died and you went back to an area, you'd get a different dialogue, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're back again now, are you?" And all that kind of stuff. And they would kind of like go over their path of their story and how they got there. And I was like, "This is quite unique." Like to not just be like, "Okay, the game's reset, crack on." And I suppose Synapse did that as well, but it felt like repeated dialogue after a bit. Not that it was bad or anything. It was just it didn't feel as noticeable as say something like the Foglands or this, like you said, where you're kind of like, oh, right, it is different. And I also liked in the accessibility options, you can turn off, so you can skip all cutscenes that you've seen before, just in case you do want to go through it like a bit quicker. You're like, okay, I've already seen that. You don't need to see that again, type of thing. Yeah, I think it's really well done in the terms of how they've managed to do that, because otherwise you don't really want to be sitting through the same cutscenes over and over again.
Yeah, I've just been so impressed by it. I think presumably it's quite a small team that's made it. I don't know.
It's not their first VR game.
It feels like, but it's so polished and so confident in its execution, and so everything about it is just everything. It's so well done. Like the design of it, the combat, the music, the dialogue, the audio. It's such a good complete package. It feels like a really premium.
It's fantastic. And that was another thing I'm kind of surprised about. Like, cause I played this on Quest first, so instantly in my mind I was like, "This is going to look 10 times better on PlayStation." I was actually shocked at how comparable they were in terms of their looks and the way they play. And I think it's quite a sentiment to the team of how well they've actually done this port to PlayStation, because although you can see it looks better and runs a little bit better on PlayStation, it's not enough to be like going mad about and screaming it from the top of the towers. It looks better, sure, but at the same point, like if I was to go back and play this on Quest, I'm not going to be bothered by that at all. Like, and I think that was something I was quite shocked about. I was like, okay, this is, because usually we've said before, it's always been quite a big step up, whereas this is like, you question, could it be a better step up? And you're like, no, I don't think it could. It's just genuinely they know how to make the game look good on what they're doing and utilize everything. And yeah, I think that shocked me as well in its own little sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Underdogs then. I mean, I think it's fair to say it gets the cross-button VR stamp of approval.
100%. It's one I think, like I said before, I think everyone should go pick this up. Even if you're not a big fan of roguelikes, there was moments when I was playing this where I was kind of saying to myself, is this really a roguelike? Like, and then, you die again and you're like, oh, okay, yep, no, it definitely is. And even though you knew it was, but you kind of, I don't know, there's something about it when you're playing it that you forget you're playing a roguelike. And I don't know if it's just because you feel like a badass because you're in a mech, so you kind of feel unstoppable until you're not. I think that's what I liked as well.
Yeah, and like your cockpit, like the glass of your cockpit takes more and more damage over each battle you have, and the
little charms inside of it, and the way you see your arms move as well.
Like
that first moment, and I think that's something we've got to say as well. The first moment when you grip the actual controllers inside of the mech, and you're kind of going like that, and you're seeing your mech arms move up, and you're doing this. You're like, holy fucking shit. That feels
every time
awesome.
It feels good as well.
Oh,
every
mate.
time. That's what I mean about how this kind of execution of this game is so polished, because all the little things like that, it's just so satisfying to put your hands in, and the haptics are really nice on it as well. You feel that when you're holding it and stuff. It's really
I
nice
wish the haptics were a little bit heavy hitting when you kind of punch things and things like that. Like the haptics when you're inside the mech touching things in there, that was fine. But when like I was punching things, I didn't really feel the haptics as much. So I kind of wish there was a little bit more bumped up. But other than that, that's minor in my books, though, haptics sometimes.
Yeah, it's just I love it. I think it's so good.
I just want to say one last thing.
Go on.
Sound design, just in general, not music, but the sound design. When you're hitting things and things hit you, either whoever did the sound design, I think I actually follow one of them on Twitter. But like, if they did not go outside and just smash things really hard into metal to get these noises, I want to know how they did it, because it's every hit just feels authentic. It feels like you're actually hitting something, and it really adds to that immersion. Like, you feel like you're actually in a mech. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so cool. So yeah, check this one out. Watch the trailer for it. Watch some videos of it. I think it really helps to convey the whole kind of style, how classy it is, just how cool the game looks, how cool you feel while playing it. I think that's what VR is all about, right? It's just, you probably look like a complete prat while playing it, but
just make sure nobody's around when you're playing this, or in
this is
arm's reach.
Do not do this near your TV, because you will the TV up. You will smash that. You are throwing punches, heavy punches, left, right, and center. You are swinging punches around. So yeah, your pets, your TVs, your light fittings, walls, get all that away from you. You need a big space.
Yeah, get your walls out of the way. Just kind of expand your building a little bit.
Sometimes you play like in a smaller room and you think, okay, I just need to be conscious my walls are there, so I can't throw any punch. Like, don't, if you don't have the space for it, then don't.
You're gonna feel it.
Don't play
you're gonna feel it, or your controllers are gonna feel it. One of the two. Like, it's that crazy.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely worth the buy.
And just on the point of roguelikes, I only usually really like roguelikes when, if you finish your run, it gives you some permanent upgrade, so that the next run is a bit more straightforward, and then you get to the sort of next biome, and then you sort of start again that loop of having to sort of keep plugging away and getting a little bit better every time. And it's that combination of getting a bit more skillful, plus you're a bit more sure getting stronger as well, until the tipping point comes and you can beat the game. That's the perfect loop. And I don't think this has that. I don't think there's any permanent upgrades to your character. What you're getting each time, each run.
No, there's not really permanent upgrades, is there?
You're unlocking more upgrades and add-ons and things, and different types of arm to use. And so each time you do it, you might get something that will make you significantly stronger, but it is still kind of that random element of what you're going to unlock.
But usually the roguelikes where you can have permanent upgrades, it makes it so the enemies around you get stronger each time you upgrade as well. So you don't kind of have that on this, where each enemy is stronger at the start. It's kind of just like, well, you can now upgrade these other things, so that kind of works in its favour, I think. Kind of gives you a little bit of like a warm-up round each time.
Yeah, I think everyone on PSVR2 should really check this one out. And it's another game that at the start of the year didn't really know about. I wouldn't have sort of listed it as things to look forward to this year on PSVR2. So that was very foolish of me, because this feels like another one, a bit like No More Rainbows, that came out of nowhere for me, that has just like blown me away. Love it. So
yes. Always like to hear that.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Should we move on?
Yeah, well, before we do that, just to comment, that's coming out on the 25th, so the day after this episode drops. We're not sure on price on PSVR2, but it's £23 at the moment on Quest. So
day after this episode drops? I mean, day of this episode.
Yeah.
25th is a Tuesday.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Perfect. Day this episode drops. You
Don't confuse me, mate.
You can buy the game right now, and it will cost you somewhere in the region of £20 to £30.
Yeah. So I think that's fair.
Good. Well, let's cover off a bit of the news. Hitman VR has been getting lots of previews out. Everyone's been flown away to Copenhagen. They did ask me to go, Reece, but I said, I'm sorry, I can't. I've got to take my kids to school. So
got a dog to look after, mate. I can't do it. Oh.
Can't make it, I'm afraid. So I'll leave it to everyone else to do, and I'll just read.
I mean, you could have just asked them to ask me, but I didn't think that, did you?
No.
I would have given them an excuse as well.
Yeah, you're a very important man in your job. You can't be taking time out to go play Hitman.
No.
Game's coming out next week. You don't have to go to Copenhagen to play this game because that game's coming out next week. Like, what on earth? We would need to play it like a week early. It's crazy. But anyway, the previews of it look like this is finally the time where they are nailing the VR version of Hitman, which is a relief to say the least. It would have been really awkward if it's like, was it the fourth time of releasing it or the fourth?
PSVR1, PSVR2, Quest, fourth time. Because the Quest and PC version is different to the PSVR1 version a little bit. So yeah, fourth time.
And obviously last year we had the version on Quest that was a complete sort of car crash of a version, right?
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, sadly, I didn't end well. But this version of it looks stunning, right? And I mean, genuinely, like they released some new gameplay footage of all the previews, and yeah, it looks gorgeous. And that's what a lot of the previews are saying. I watched Gamertech's video, and he was saying that it's just like frequently, it's just like absolutely stunning. Some of the views and the vistas, and you sort of come around the corner, it's just like frequently stunning to look at and stuff. Jaw dropping, I think he described it as. So yeah, if you like something that's going to give your PSVR2 a good run for its money and make the most of that power of being tethered to PS5, it looks like it will help justify that cable.
Yeah, I'm glad they've tried again, because Hitman's one of them games that's going to be great in VR when it's done right. So happy to hear that you've got it.
And probably good from Sony's. Apparently, Sony have funded this version of it as well.
Have they?
Yeah, that's what. Well, I can't remember. One of the previews I said. I read mentioned that. So I think Sony have put money into it, and it's another one that feels like a kind of a proper gamer's game, like a big long game that you're not gonna. It's not like a kind of a VR experience. This is if you're someone that's a proper hardcore gamer and you like proper games, then now you can play this game in VR. A bit like with Resident Evil 4 remake, where you're getting like a full length, long 15-20 hour game fully in VR. It's too long for me, but
it's meaty. It's meaty.
Yeah, you're certainly getting value for money, and you'll be able to spend a lot of time in this world.
It sounds like a good world to be in. Well, in terms of visuals, I mean, Laurie, you probably won't enjoy the world as much, just simply because you don't like doing all nasty things in VR sometimes, do you?
Well, yeah, say that.
When it feels too real, you're like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, you say I've been playing Assassin's Creed there, so come on.
Oh, yeah.
That tells him
Let's jump that in a minute.
Stabbing people in the neck, but
yeah.
So the only thing on this, people have been kind of a bit the VR interactions are still like button presses, so there's still
there's a lot of notifications popping up on the screen, isn't there? Press X to do this and all that kind of stuff. I've noticed that as well.
But it's a port of at the end of the day, like
just look past it.
Resident Evil was like that as well. Like there are some things where you just press the button rather than interact with the thing. But it's like there's only so far they can go. They're taking a fully non-VR game and turning it into VR. Unless they're doing a ground-up remake of it, which just isn't practical, then there needs to be some button pressing.
And I mean, even on the Quest version, it said that like press X to open a door, but you could walk up to it and push the door to open it. But everybody just was like, you have to press X to open a door. Yes, if you're holding a body or both your hands are occupied, you can press X, but you can also open it with your arms. Like,
see, I don't mind that sometimes, because door handles are one of those things that always just remind. It's like another.
They're still not universal in VR, are they?
It's open a door to be janky, because like the door handle might jank, and then you open the door and it might not open properly. And
arm gets stuck through the door as well.
Yeah,
door starts dislocating from the hinges.
Press a button and the door opens for me. I think I would prefer that, just because the act of opening a door, because you kind of have to step forward at the same time, and there's always clipping. It just never works. So yeah. We need to
such a simplistic thing. Yeah, somebody make doors VR where you just have to open doors in VR.
We just need like a Star Trek game set on like a spaceship with all the opening doors.
You did have a Star Trek game. You had Star Trek.
Bridge Commander, is that?
That was it. Yeah, Bridge Commander, Bridge Crew, one of the two. That was really cool. That was.
Is that another game that's just been marooned on?
It's on Quest.
It's on Quest.
It is on Quest, yes, and Steam. I believe so still.
So Hitman previews, they come out. The game itself comes out a few days after this episode does. So not long to wait, but it's looking like it's going to be a very positive thing for PSVR2. It's probably just what PSVR2 needs, let's say. And I think that's £10 for that upgrade if you already own
That's correct.
The full game, flat game. It's just £10 to get the VR upgrade, which is very reasonable, I should imagine, for the amount of work that must have gone into it.
And it's something they keep updating as well, don't they? Like I think they've just released or releasing a new DLC for it as well, other than the actual VR DLC. So if they do make it so all these DLCs work in it as well, that's just going to be the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's just something that's never going to end for you.
This does seem like the sort of game that they could just make an episodic every year, just like here is another. You're going to send you on another mission, and the whole thing might
Agent 47. We're sending you on another mission.
Yeah, it could just take 3 or 4 hours. You'll just make one setting, a few different parts to it. But, like, just put that out. Just reuse the engine and the assets, and just every couple of years, or every year, just here's a new mission, and then. Yeah, once you've got a collection of them, I suppose release as a full game. But it seems like a great way to just make that more episodic content. Don't get many games like that now. It's always strange.
No.
More episodic.
Life is Strange VR. There you go. That's what we need.
Yep. I'm a big fan.
Oh, that would be quite dark. But yeah, go on. We need that.
Speaking of quite dark, Slender the Arrival arrives on May the 13th. And this is a VR version of Slender the Arrival. Speaking of VR ports, so you've played this game non-VR, am I right?
A long time ago.
Okay.
In a galaxy far away.
Mm-hmm.
I played Slender Arrival back when you had to buy it on their website and download it through their website from an email that you would get. I think it was at the time, if I remember rightly. This was many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. It was back when Slender was quite popular because of the creepypastas and or whatever they used to call them. Creepypasta. Yeah, it was like it's all creepy stories. And, back when Slender was this thing that, is he actually real? And people started questioning it and all that kind of stuff. Then they made movies. That's when I played Slender. And the game was creepy and the jump scares were pretty heavy on this one. So to see it come into VR, I mean, it's definitely gonna make people jump, that's for sure. Because I remember playing this back when I had like my first ever YouTube channel and I streamed it or whatever, and yeah, it was amusing. It was very amusing. But,
lots of screaming and
yeah, there was moments because it's because you had Slender the Pages or the 8 Pages, whatever it's called, where that was like a website downloadable game, and that was just walking through the forest. Whereas this tries to add a story and kind of elevate what this world is, and I think that will work more in VR than say if they just went for the original Slender. So I think it's going to be quite good for some people. I think anyone that's not played it is going to have more of an enjoyable time because some of the parts I remember from the game were a bit, let's say, tedious more so than difficult because of the way the enemy was. So I think new people trying this out in VR are going to get more of that shock and surprise than, say, someone who's played it before and be like, yeah, I know exactly where to go and do all this, because I doubt they're going to change much. So, yeah, I think it's going to be quite fun to play again in VR. And I'm looking forward to trying it when I get my hands on it.
Yeah, definitely one for you and not me. There is a blog about it on the PlayStation blog. So check that out if you haven't read it. There's a new trailer on there. It's talking. One of the things it mentions is there's haptic feedback. It's got headset vibration.
That would work actually well because when he comes nearer to you, you kind of hear like a fuzzing, humming noise.
Yeah.
So they could do that, tie that in with the headset haptics. That would work really well.
They're going to do. Yeah, it sounds pretty terrible.
I didn't read the blog, and I just assumed that's good.
A tangible sense of gnawing dread. It describes it as. It's like, yeah, no, fuck that. I'm not playing this game.
You just turn around, and he's there staring at you like, oh fuck.
It does. It is another game that looks exceptionally good. I think it's a Unreal Engine 5 game. It looks exceptionally good.
Oh, okay.
On the headset. I
saw the VR showcase video that they did, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm happy it's coming over. I don't want to see any more now, though. I just want to see it in the headset myself.
Well, it's cool. We're getting into this phase now where I guess it's developers having a bit more time with Quest 3 and PSVR2. The games are looking increasingly amazing. Some of these games that are coming out. So that's exciting times, really.
Nice.
So yeah, May the 13th that comes out. So not too long to wait for that one. Talking of games that are coming out, Meta are going to be releasing a lot of them. So we talked to a few weeks ago about Meta and whether or not they're still really into developing games because everyone's just going to more of kind of a social horizon sort of world. And they were doing some conference they were at recent weeks, and they've just made a point of saying that they are still massively investing in the game space. It's not just all about social stuff. They are still got, I think, over 200 games in active production that they're funding. Meta themselves are helping to fund. Apparently, there's 100 that they came out in last year that they had some involvement in funding, and they've got 200 in production that will obviously release over the next few years. They did point out though that the nature of the games are changing. Well, they said they're seeing a much stronger continuum between social and gaming than they used to be, and so things like Guerrilla Tag, Fortnite are obviously much more important going forward. And I think that ties into the fact that Quest is becoming a platform increasingly used by teenagers with lots of time and want to hang out with their friends and aren't able to do that in real life in the same way that people maybe have to have done once upon a time. And so I guess they're just responding to that trend, and that's where people want to do. I suppose that's not really something that
as long as they make another Batman,
we're interested in. Well, I mean, it's good to see that they are still recognizing the importance of actual gaming and how the fact that there's a huge part of their audience is there because of the games and using it as a device to play games on. So that's good. We don't all just want to watch Sabrina Carpenter in VR concerts. As enjoyable as that is, Meta, it's not why I bought the headset. So
she's walking nearer to me. No, she's not, mate. It's just a screen. That's all it is.
Yeah, it doesn't even. Those concert things, it doesn't really even work. It doesn't even look like.
No, they should make it so like there's different perspectives of the crowd that's done that camera field, so they kind of block it out of that certain section, so it makes it feel like you're in the crowd. But they've not done it like that. It's instead of watching a big giant screen. Yeah,
it does feel like you're watching it on a screen still. So that's good. We remain to be seen what their big game is. Obviously, they seem to have a big full game every year. We've had Asgard's Wrath. We've had Assassin's Creed Nexus, Batman Arkham Shadow. So they've done it for the last 3 years. So fingers crossed there is a big tentpole game to hold up the Quest this Christmas as well. And it's not just going to be Guerrilla Tag. That's good. But mannequins, do you want to mention that, Reece? Because that's exciting. That seems to have taken.
Yes, I was trying to get up the full post because I did have it, and I can't find it now. But anyways, so I don't think we mentioned a couple of weeks back that Mannequin was going free to play. If you don't know what Mannequin is, it's a party style game. Hide and seek in a sense. One team plays as these mannequins that can mimic the frozen NPCs that are around, and not NPCs, but the frozen humans that are around. You can kind of freeze into a certain position, any position you want. You can do whatever you want for shits and giggles if you really want to, and you basically have to stop the agents that are coming in. It's a great game. One of the probably one of the more fun games I've had in VR and multiplayer in the recent years. From playing it with the devs and even just playing it with friends, family, it's been a great laugh.
Yeah, we need to play it.
Definitely,
100%. It's free to play. I can download it. Hey.
Yeah, it is now free to play. And
let's do it right now. Let's end it.
Yeah, let's end this podcast now. We're going to go play it. See you later, everyone. But no, what's really cool is that they put out a post saying since going free to play, they have now reached 100,000 players. And I think, again, this kind of ties back into what you just said about Quest being quite a community thing and everything like that. And it does prove that, yes, free to play does reign on a mobile headset. And I think we're all kind of aware of that. But whether they've added, I would be interested to see how many people have bought the upgrade inside of the free to play to then make them get some kickback and things like that. But I'm glad it's getting more eyes on it. This is one game I think everyone needs to play as well. It's just a lot of fun. Not a lot of fun.
But you don't need a lot, do you? I mean, if you have like 1,000 people that buy the game and play it, or you can make it free to play, and of 100,000 people, you only need 1% of people to buy stuff, and you've got more.
Yeah, it's still better than what you was getting before, clearly. And I can't remember if it actually said it's more than they had on release. That's why I was trying to find the original post. But yeah, so let's see if we can find it. I had it
and
up,
once it's free to play, it can kind of act as more of like a launcher as well, because once you've got it on your headset, you can just do content drops, waves of events and stuff, and just try and get people in. You can do collaborations and stuff, and get people to jump back in and stuff. And it is true, that is how young people are playing games now. Like my son is 9 years old. He loves Lego Fortnite, and he wants to buy the the battle passes to unlock all of the avatars and the stuff. So when he plays it with his friends, they all jump into Lego Fortnite together, and he's got some emotes and dances that his friends don't have, and he can do it in front of them and stuff, and he thinks it's wonderful. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with the kids, man? What's going on with them? But that's what they want.
You're broken buying all these different things.
Yeah,
I can't find the full post, but I think it was about 100,000 players. It said that it's now reached. I can't remember if it was 100%. That's better than what they had on the release week. But either way, to have that as a concurrent amount of players on there, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. So really happy to see that happen.
Yeah, and also it just goes to show, like, when people sort of criticise, and we do it to be fair as well. It's just like, oh, what are you doing? We don't want this sort of games. Make these sorts of games. It's like these companies, they know what they're doing. They have the data that no one else does, and they know the sorts of games that people want to play. And they don't want to buy. You can give away Batman with the headset and get people to buy the headset, but the people that are picking up quests generally aren't going to spend £40-50 on a Batman game anyway. That's not the people that are buying the headset. If you give it to them for free, great, they'll play it, and maybe some people will pick up the headset because of that, and they'll use it to think, I might as well get it because I can get a free copy of Batman as well. But if you don't include that game for free as a pack-in, then people pick up the headset and they're not going to be buying it because they want these more social, free-to-play games that they can spend a few quid in here and there when they get their kind of pocket money, or they can get sort of small sums of money each month from their parents, and they can just put it towards more stuff, more in-game content. That is what the way that the industry's changing. And like, as much as I'm not interested in that, I'm 40 years old. Like, I'm not spending money.
No one's care what you're interested in.
Exactly, but they shouldn't do that. It's fine. Like, not everything needs to be for me, and I don't want it to be. So, like, Sony is still putting out bloody 70 quid, 60 quid games, and that's for me. So you can't begrudge when these companies say, well, you know what, we're going to focus more on these sorts of games because that's what our audience is picking up, and whether that's they intended for that to become their audience, it doesn't matter. That is what the people that are buying headsets are. So as much as we like to take the piss out of squeakers and stuff, how much we don't like it, it's like, well, we're the ones that are probably
you're annoying me.
They probably got some name for us. So they'll be all on Twitch saying, "Oh, there's a fucking old fucker that's here." some name.
I think I did get. Joe, actually, now you've said that, I'm pretty sure I can't remember what game I was playing. I think it was on Quest, and I joined the game, and it put me into an online thing, and I just said hello, just kind of see if anyone was there, and I'm pretty sure somebody called me old, and I was like, fucking hell. And it hit me. Me. I was like, old?
We need to
fucking old. I was like, I just turned the game. I was like, sat there on my seat for a second, kind of thinking through life, like, I'm not old.
Maybe that's what games need, that we need like a lobby that you can say, like, only put me in with 30 plus, because I need, like, then I might have a chance of winning as well, because I'll be in people that have also got slow reaction times like me now. Like, got more of a chance. People with limited time to get good.
Yeah. But no, that still makes me laugh. So
I just thought that was interesting with Meta going, and you can see that with Mannequin as well. It's just interesting how the industry is evolving. And I think Meta are probably in an interesting space in that they're kind of creating this new audience, so they don't have that kind of legacy of fans in the same way that Sony and Xbox and Nintendo do. They're creating something new, really. So it's interesting.
Talking of other Meta stuff, games that are only on there, please tell me finally what you've been thinking of Nexus.
I'm so glad, because I've been wanting to play it for so long, as you know.
Yes.
I was just waiting for it to come to PSVR2. It didn't. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to get a Quest because it's clearly never going to come out. And I picked it up, and I'm so happy that it's lived up to the hype, and it has not disappointed me, and it's given me everything I wanted. I've only a couple of missions into it, so I don't want to talk about it too much because I'll be probably talking about it loads over the next few weeks. But yeah, my first impressions of it are, it's so cool. It's a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I love the whole franchise. And so yeah, to play that in VR, to actually be Ezio, it is just so cool. And just to look around Venice and to be in that setting and to get the hidden blade out, and the way that the hidden blade comes out, you just do a flick of your wrist.
Feels so cool.
It's so satisfying.
Feels so cool.
It's just like how you imagined you'd want it to feel in VR. They absolutely nailed that. That's the one thing they had to do. It's like Kratos' axe throw. It's the one thing they have to do to make it feel really good. It's really good. It's really clever. I like the whole setup of it. It's great having the classic characters in it. It looks fantastic. Like, totally blown away by how good it looks first glance, and the polish of it. You can tell Ubisoft big company throwing lots of resources at this game. I'm baffled why they haven't ported it to PC.
They really should have. I think
VR2.
they would have seen.
It's crazy. Like Meta must have given them a lot of money to not do that to help justify, because it must have cost them a lot of development time. Like Ubisoft throw a lot of pods at games when they make games. They've got a lot of people. So it's just a shame. But it's a little bit bittersweet because it makes you think, these are like these big developers that make games. This is what they're able to do with this mobile hardware. I'm not slagging off small teams. We're talking about Underdogs and how good that is. But in terms of just the kind of the scope and the scale of these games, it's not possible with a smaller team and an indie budget. And you can't get many games like this made in VR, but the ones you do get are pretty cool and pretty special. So yeah, I can't wait to get stuck into that over the coming weeks. And I'm going to be juggling that and Shadows, the new one, which we just started playing. Ubisoft sent over a code for that as well, so should just spend a minute talking about how much I'm enjoying that as well. It's obviously it's the first one that's made for PS5 and this generation of consoles. There's no cross-gen element to it, and boy, can you tell, it just looks so good.
Them comparison images I've seen between PS5 Pro and the base PS5 for this game, have fucking rattled my brain. I tell you, I would not want to play this on the normal PS5.
Well, I mean, even that does look really good compared to
it does, but when you see the reflections,
I mean, the ray tracing on it is fantastic, and it kind of does fulfill the promise of the PS5 Pro in that you're getting 4K 60 and ray tracing all in one. I mean, it's obviously upscaled 4K. And yeah, it does it all, and it looks amazing. And the lighting in it is the engine that they've got, their Anvil engine, is just like this. It's a bit like Ghost of Tsushima. There's so much weather in this game. It's always fucking raining or windy or stormy. It's always so much weather going on. It's so windy, but it just looks so cool. And there's always fog and mist coming through trees. It's just, you're constantly playing this game and just like looking around, just panning the camera around. And just marveling at how good the scenery looks and how good the effects are. I really like the setting though and the characters. I think you play as Naue, this Japanese shinobi assassin type person. When the game starts, you do a little bit with the Yasuke, and then it goes to Naue, the female protagonist, and I think you spend a good chunk of time with her. Like, I've been playing it for about 7 or 8 hours, and it's just all been her. Apart from a very, very brief time with Yasuke, like literally 10 minutes at the start, it's just all been her otherwise there. And I think it will open up at some point and you'll get to play as both of them. But I think it's great playing as Naue. She's a really fun character to play. She's like really fast. She's not the strongest sort of character, but she's a really fast assassin, shinobi type person. So yeah, I am going to be losing dozens and dozens of hours to this over the next several months. It's the game I'm going to play, because you kind of, the way I played the last game, Valhalla, is I kind of do a region, and each region has kind of got a self-contained kind of narrative inside it. It's like a set of characters, and I don't know if this game will work in quite the same way, but I suspect I'll do a whole region and then I'll sort of stop playing and go play some other stuff and maybe play like a few shorter indie games, and then I'll go back to it. So I'll be dipping in and out of it over several months. That's how I tend to play these games. I just have to break them up because they're so long, and it would just take me like I have to break them up, otherwise it's too overwhelming for me. But that's absolutely fine, because I'm so pleased with it. I was really looking forward to playing this one, and I'm just glad that
I've been living through you this week with your posts you've been putting out. You just sound like a kid at Christmas, if that's some of the way you're wording it. And I don't know, I feel like your energy coming through them is that you're absolutely losing your shit with every time you're seeing something new in this game.
Yeah, it's just, when a game like lives up to the hype for you, it's just like, really excited to play.
I think it's the first time.
I could lose days and days to this game.
The last time I really enjoyed an Assassin's Creed game was Origins. So much so that I've got the collector's edition. I was a big fan of Assassin's Creed game. I've got the Assassin's Creed bus above me and things like that. So I do really like them. But for some reason, after Origins, I didn't really enjoy Odyssey. And then I couldn't get on with Valhalla either for some reason. And then this is the first one I've seen. I'm like, I want to play this one. I want to. So I'm glad they've kind of somehow managed to kind of pull me back in with that kind of like, okay, this looks fucking awesome. So glad they've managed to do that, because they haven't done that since Origins for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, I hope it does well for them, and I hope it gets Ubisoft out of their hole that they're in. I hate all this negative discourse that people about it. You go online and there's so many twats out there that
I think it's just fun to hate on Ubisoft, isn't it? Basically,
well,
I think that's what it is.
They just hate on games featuring black people and women. Basically, there's a sad state of affairs of the world at the moment.
Yeah, there is that too.
In for this game because just people.
It's the same thing with Split Fiction, mate. Horrible. It got so much hate just simply because of you playing as two women. Yeah, so much so that the developer, the director addressed it, didn't they?
Yeah, God forbid you don't play as a white man for a few hours of your life.
It is also that, yeah.
So yeah, I hope it does well. But people, apparently the day one players there was lots of them. So yeah, Lord knows Ubisoft needed to do well. So I also
they have something to prove, don't they?
They delayed it, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's a disaster! They delayed it." But after the Star Wars game came out, that had lots of bugs and was lots of kind of problem. There was lots of issues with it at launch. This game, it runs perfectly. There's no bugs or problems. Which for a big open world game like this, playing it on day one. Usually with Ubisoft games, the joke is like you play it, you're like a real beta tester at first, and then you give it a few months, and they patch it, and it falls in price, and you get a much better game for half the price. And instead, with this one, the season pass, they're just throwing in all the season pass content for free if you buy the game. I think you have to pre-order the game, but they've delayed it such that you're getting a really polished game on day one.
Nice.
So, yeah, I just hats off to what they've done with this one.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well,
hopefully I'll get round to it.
Yeah. You should. Well, let's leave it there, shall we, for this week?
100%.
I'm going to go play some more Assassin's Creed, VR or non-VR.
I'm going to go play some more Traveller's Rest.
Nice.
Which isn't a VR game. Oh, I'm so sorry, people.
Well, we're going to go do that. And thanks again for listening and watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, we'd love it if you could please tell your family and your friends all about us. And if we get more involved, please don't hesitate to jump into our Discord and talk about beer with me and Hippie Piggle. Thank you to everyone that's already done so. I have been your host, Laurie, and I've been joined by the one and only Reece. And we will see you again next time. Until then, here's goodbye.